Okay, so we're back on recording. Sorry about that, folks. Sometimes out here on Waiheke Island, our internet's not as good as we would like it to be. So we're back. David, hi. So if you see the screen freeze every so often, that's kind of just what it's doing, and you have to lip read. Oh no, it's frozen, so you can't lip read.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, go on, David. Where were we? Where were you?
Well, you know, like most people, I'm just trying the best I can to deal with this situation.
Yeah, good.
And as we're talking, I had mentioned that Aldous Huxley, the famous writer and philosopher, talked about the nonverbal humanities. And this has become more and more interesting to me, the idea that there's a certain amount of important knowledge that doesn't get transmitted by talking about it. It gets transmitted directly on either an emotional level or on a movement level. And there's a real renaissance of nonverbal humanities through yoga, through massage, through chanting, through meditation. All of these things are essential, and almost all of them were left out of our education. So right now that we're left to our own devices, literally and figuratively, this is a good time to start to deepen our experience of these kinds of things and deepen our knowledge. Just one thing occurred to me is that years ago in therapy, I was encouraged to try to not think and feel at the same time. A lot of times when I'm in a difficult situation, I'll be thinking thoughts and then I'll be feeling emotions and I'll think thoughts and I'll go back and forth like a crazy person. And they said, first, just feel what you're feeling and try not even think about it. Feel how it feels in your body. Feel what the emotion is. See if you can label it, but don't run to thoughts. Don't run to solutions. And so, I've learned to spend time with what I'm feeling. And only after I really feel like, okay, I've felt through this particular anger or this particular sadness or this fear or this compassion, this joy. Now that we felt it through. And so then I'll thinking. And after doing that, I'll consider what action I might want to take, or if I don't want to take any action.
Yes.
So that's been very helpful to say, feel first, then think, and then decide. Rumi has a thing. He said, sniff with your wisdom side.
Say that again. Sniff with your wisdom.
Sniff with the wisdom nose, and then decide.
And then decide.
He said God could have created the world in one fell swoop, but instead he took 7 days.
Yes.
I think he had to smell every day.
Krishnamurti says, no condemnation and no acceptance, talking about our thoughts. And I like that, so we don't condemn ourselves, because oftentimes we put ourselves down as a society. We do that. That's kind of being pushed on us a lot through media, and so no condemnation and no acceptance, because your thoughts. My take on this is that we make up our thoughts. Our thoughts are not reality. They're made up little pixels in our head that create noises and videos inside our head. So not to accept them. That they maybe we can change
the reality.
Yeah,
I hear you.
So what have you got something that you'd like to offer for us that we could go ahead and use now to just help navigate tough times?
Well, just a practical example, excuse me, would be to do precisely what I just said, is to sit in a good posture, whether that be in a chair or on a meditation cushion or whatever, and to then take the time to take a few breaths and then just to ask yourself, what are you feeling? And to notice those feelings and notice where you feel those feelings in your body.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll feel excitement, in your pelvis. Sometimes you'll feel love in your or a sense of burden.
Yes.
So,
Would you like to take us through a meditation? 5 minutes or something like that, 10 minutes or a few minutes. And so, because I know that often when you suggest something to someone, still, if you're new to going slightly more inside, it's kind of a bit different. Anyway, you know what I mean.
Sure, I can do that. So I would say, first of all, take a couple of nice deep breaths, both in and out. And probably best if you close your eyes so that you let your attention go inside. And continue to breathe and feel that breath like three-dimensionally, like in 360 degrees through your whole self, so that you feel the space in which you can feel and the time in which you can slow down and pay attention to some subtle, some perhaps obvious things going on inside of you. And you can bring your awareness through the whole body, through the feet, through your lower legs and your thighs, bringing breath in through the pelvis, the abdomen, bringing breath in and out through your chest and your heart, and then your shoulders, bringing breath in and out through the arms, wrists, and hands, and then bringing breath in and out. Feel it move through your neck and then through your head. And now you have a bit of a sense of what's going on inside of you, and ask yourself, what are some of the feelings that I'm having these days? And take time to get to know those feelings so that should you be feeling, for instance, fear, that you might ask yourself, how am I aware of fear? Where in my body? What movement might be represented by it? Is it a shakiness? Is it a falling down? Is it an uprising? How do I know I'm afraid? And apart from the thoughts, feel the fear in your body, or the sadness, or the compassion, and the myriad of feelings that might come up. Often we have more than one feeling going on at a time, so there's no reason to hurry. And do an internal inventory. What do you feel now? Where do you feel it? And take your breath and meet that feeling with your breath, with your attention, with your awareness, so that there's a sense of acceptance, almost a welcome, knowing that all of our feelings are there for a reason. Every one of them is evolution. Anger serves us. Sadness serves us in those moments where they're called for. So take some time. Oftentimes it'll take me fully 5 minutes. I'll also think, what would I like to do with that emotion? So just on an emotional level, sometimes I might like to imagine reaching out and kind of hitting something, or I might imagine crying in front of somebody I care a lot about. So imagined actions can be very, very helpful, because sometimes we can visualize ourselves doing something that in reality we might not do. And so note that the emotion means motion out. Once you've spent, oftentimes maybe 5 minutes, and very rarely does it take me longer than that, I'll say to myself, now, given that I am feeling this emotion and that emotion, what thoughts do I have about it? What does my mind tell me? Your mind, when it pays attention to emotion, is a good coach. It's like your inner adult. It says, there. Here's what you can do with that sadness. Here's what you might do with that fear. And when you've then conceived of possible actions and let your mind do what it's good at, only then, please consider what action you genuinely want to take that will serve you. See that there are many actions that we can take that will help others, that will help ourselves, not only uh, with the sickness, but also with the feelings that we have. And once you've decided on appropriate courses of action, informed by your emotions, informed by your thoughts, then you can rest because you have a much clearer idea of what you might do or what you might choose to refrain from doing. So now take a few more deep breaths in and out through your whole body and just let go of that process and just be for a moment. Feel yourself connected to heaven and earth and complete and connected within yourself, accepting yourself for your wonderful abilities to feel, to think, and to and just rest in that space. And then when you have a moment, if it helps you, you might write down some insights that you had about what you feel, then about what you thought, and then about possibilities for actions or decisions regarding action or non-action. And that's been very helpful for me. So I hope it is for you too.
Beautiful. Thank you, David.
Sure.
And for an audience out there, I hope this is going to be useful for you too. And there are, you know, the common theme is pretty much everyone I talk to is about just going inside, a bit more introspective, and it is an opportunity for us. And we trust that, as our teacher Fritz would say, let's come out of this stronger and wiser. And let's hope we do that.
Yeah, and he says, if it's coming up, it's on its way out.
Yeah.
That's been helpful for me more than once.
I hope to talk to him later on, see if he can offer some of his support and wisdom as well. David, do you want to join us again to offer maybe some massage work? Think about how you could set up something so we could visually watch you massage shoulders. I don't know, some other offering. You've got such a wealth of experience. We could have you on for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I don't know about that, man. But I gotta say,
we'll let you sleep every so often.
You're really kind. I gotta tell you, you know, the boss man from New Zealand.
I know, terrible. That's
incorrigible, and I love you for that.
I love you too, David. It's really nice to connect. I'm connecting with people I haven't had much contact with for a long time, so kind of enjoying these podcasts. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Let's talk again, eh?
Let me just mention that I do have a website, and it's www. So David-Lauterstein.com.
I'll tell you what, there was a few little gaps in there. Send it to me, and I will put that alongside the video when we post it up on boneyoga.com. It will be under Zoom in Touch podcasts.
Thanks so much, Paul.
David Lauterstein,
be well.
You're amazing, man. Let's be in touch. I'll call you in just a few minutes and we'll have a little chit chat, eh? Thanks a lot, man.
Okay, take care, guys.
Take care. Cheers. Bye-bye.